how far away they are from the bottom, and it starts at 80 meters as they're going down. It's like 80, 79, 78.
Right.
So yeah, they're 80 meters deep. Was that about 250 feet roughly? And now at the bottom of the sea, before they descended, they did quickly have this montage sequence of, we've got to send out a distress signal, and just doing that all really quickly and just getting it in time. I like that kind of thing. I like this, like, quick, get the wire and plug it in here and do that, and it's off, and great. It's all very much just in time for the plot, but, it worked, fine. And now they're at the bottom of the sea, screwed. What would you do?
Screwed. I feel like it's the first time they're actually really serious about anything that's happening. I think, like, this isn't the space in the place in the movie where they know, okay, well, we're screwed. This is bad. This is actually bad now.
Yeah. But they say they only have enough oxygen in there for one day. And I'm like, that is optimistic. It's more than I thought you were going to have. You're in a building that was on the land and is now at the bottom of the sea. Be shocked. Be worried. Anyone. But I liked there's a pipe burst, and two of the guys, methodically, they show every step of this, block up, they cover it and put these metal clips around it to tighten it, and we see this could be a YouTube video on how to do it, the amount that we're shown of it.
Yeah, actually, I think, absolute tutorial, for sure. You never know when you're going to need to do that, Jay.
Because, we see them screw it up tightly.
Global warming and stuff.
Yeah. Now they're stuck at the bottom of the sea, and one of them goes, it's getting cold in here. And the other goes, yeah, I can tell. So good. Some more A-star dialogue from these characters.
Beautiful.
And the power shuts off, everything turns red. And so they realize, okay, we need to turn the power back on so we can drain the other room, because the other room has more wetsuits in it, because they only have one wetsuit in this room. So Michael dons a wetsuit and goes out to try and turn the power back on to drain the other room to get the wetsuits. And he swims a really long way, given that he just needs to go around the building he's in.
It's really long. I mean, yeah. That's my least favorite part of the movie.
He doesn't need to swim anywhere. He just needs to get out, go down a little bit, and then he's there. But no, he has to. Yeah. He's swimming for minutes.
It's true. It's my least favorite part. It's swim forever, and I don't know why.
He's staying low to avoid the sharks. It's like, you don't even need to do that. Just stay in the same spot. Just go down. Get lower.
Just go down. Yeah. Exactly. Oh. Like I continuously feel like I'm missing something there. Like I'm not.
I was like, where is he going? I generally was like trying to work out, is there some other sunken base somewhere where the power is?
I feel like, yeah. But yeah, no, we all see Michael swim.
Yep. And he makes it, he's like looking around, where are the sharks? They're generally like behind him or above him, but he's never really in any danger. He floods the room, gets the equipment, and makes it back up to the other room. And as they leave the now drained lower room, it then starts flooding again for no reason whatsoever. It just does. Never explained. But then the distress signal they sent up at the top was successful, and we see the worst CGI boat ever committed to film.
Well, we've got two stacks of footage, and they don't look at all alike at all. They don't look like the same boat, is what I'm trying to say. That's how bad the CG is. It's so bad.
So, as you've mentioned, I'm like an engineer in real life. I do a lot of CAD, a lot of computer-aided design, using software like SolidWorks, and I'm pretty sure the second boat, we see like photo stock image of a boat, and then somebody tried to recreate that in SolidWorks.
Correct. That's my theory too.
A free student edition, perhaps. And, I mean, it could be worse, but also it could be a lot better. And I feel like I could knock this out in an afternoon. I have no training in animation.
Challenge. You should now.
But if you think the acting has been poor from our research crew, wait till you meet the crew of the boat.
Oh, special. That's now a special bunch. Jay,
Yeah.
special bunch.
Because now we're down to the IMDb cast that have no pictures next to their names.
Exactly. We do not know much about these people.
They all have one expression that they make in every shot they cut to, and it is an expression of boredom and resignation.
The captain of the boat is very happy to be there. Like, he is committed. He does not feel like an actor at all. I feel like this is his first acting role ever.
Maybe.
But he was trying real hard to be very enthusiastic about the most dullest lines ever.
Well, the actor's name is Jim Helton, and this is his first acting role ever. It is also his last acting role ever. The only thing on his IMDb page is Ice Sharks. That is it. That is all we know.
I think he was an extra, honestly. I think he was like an actual boat dude, and they were like, okay, will you say a line or two? And he was like, sure.
I mean, I'll try.
Seriously, 10 points for enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, give the guy credit for that.
Yeah,
But he's not an
and
actor.
the radio operator, who I'm not sure if is on the boat or is the guy they spoke to earlier. Oh no, it's the guy on the boat. The guy with the American flag on his jacket. He is the director. That's Emil Edwin Smith. So good. He had to put himself in there somewhere. So they've arrived. Yeah. They have a helicopter. Useful, and it is a super helicopter because it can lift a submerged, half-flooded research center.
I did not know choppers could do that.
I'm not sure they can.
If Ice Sharks say they can, I'm like, amazing.
In the world of the film, they can. So glory be. So the only way to do this is they send a cable down, which needs to be hooked up to the base. So Michael goes out, hooks it onto the base.
Michael swims again.
Yep, keeps on swimming. And he hooks it up, and then the helicopter lifts the whole goddamn base. But we still have about 20 minutes of film left, so it doesn't quite make it. It gets a little way up, and then the sharks kind of get in the way. They kill Michael.
Lo and behold, yeah.
Yeah, the threat is not over. The sharks rip Michael, because he doesn't go back inside once it's hooked on. He decides to ride on the outside of the thing all the way up. And on the way up, the sharks rip him apart like Sam Jackson in Deep Sea. And this somehow causes the helicopter to go haywire and crash.
Yeah, I'm like, did they snap one of the wires, but we just didn't see it because the CG is so bad? I mean,
well, what's devastating is the helicopter does not explode. It crashes into the ocean, smashes into smithereens, does not explode, which means that Ice Sharks will never be covered on the Exploding Helicopter podcast by our good friend Will Slater. He will never get to see Ice Sharks.
That is a pity.
I have consulted him. I've sent him a link to the YouTube video to watch it in Italian, and he's like, this doesn't count. It's not up there. So Ice Sharks is just failing everywhere. All they had to do was just put one little spark in there somewhere, and it could have been forever immortalised on the Exploding Helicopters list. But it's not.
If they had more money, I would have loved to see what they would have done with more money.
Just a second draft of the script. That's all. 20 quid.
You know,
I'd have proofread the thing for 20 quid.
Absolutely, a good start. Yeah.
So,
Script people, so important.
So the helicopter crashes, the Oasis descends back to the bottom of the ocean, shards of helicopter dropping all around it, but everything is fine. And then they come up with the idea, wait a minute, flotation balloons.
Yeah!
So David and Alex, who haven't mentioned, Clarissa Thibault is her name. I think she was quite good, actually. Action-wise, I thought she was all right.
Clarissa was good. This is natural.
They're the two that go out swimming, leaving Tracy to man the radios. That's all she's good for. And so they have to go out and hook up these balloons to the corners. They've got 4 of them to each of the corners of the base. And they have a flare gun. So Alex is hooking up the balloons whilst David is trying to protect her and shooting flares at sharks. They shoot flares at sharks. The flares do nothing.
Nothing.
What?
Zero.
It's
the most useless activity throughout the entire movie.
They do the climax of Deep Sea 2. They shoot a flare into a shark's mouth. The shark just carries on swimming. And that killed a super smart bull shark. flying through the air, and it just does nothing to these Greenland sharks.
Now, these greenies are like next level,
Yeah,
honestly.
monsters.
I mean, I would love to see the deep blue sea sharks up against the greenies from ice sharks because, yeah, I think the greenies will give them a run for their money, honestly.
Yeah. So, but in all this process, Alex gets taken out. She's gone. Just a shark swim by. This is actually one of the few times we see a shark grab a person. So the shark grabs Alex and just swims off with her. We see,
Yeah,
we get
just like
very
that.
we get very few definitive deaths.
True. It just happens unceremoniously.
So all this cast come back for the ice sharks too, but they get all the balloons, they set them off, and they start to rise. But meanwhile, whilst they're doing all of that, Tracy is inside looking out the window watching their process. This is great. A shark bursts through the window, and it's got its front half stuck through the window, chomping at her, and she's like in a room. She for some reason doesn't leave the room because she's just trying to fight off this half a shark sticking through the window, whilst the base is being lifted up and out of the air. And so the base gets lifted up, and there's still half a shark hanging out the side of it, thrashing around trying to kill her the whole time. And they're like, "It's safe. We've got the thing up. Everything's safe." Except none of the crew are reacting with happiness that the thing is out and they've done it. They're all just stoic and like, "Yep, another day." But meanwhile, Tracy's inside trying to beat up this shark with a ladder that she's pulled off the wall.
And I feel like, I mean, you're being generous when you say that's a room because, like,
It's a cupboard.
to the listeners, I can't explain to you how, yeah, it's a cupboard, how tiny this supposed room is. Like, the shark literally just its head and its mouth through the window, just jumping away, and she's barely, like, avoiding the thing. It's one of my favorite scenes throughout the entire movie because you can't not laugh at that, Jay. You can't not laugh.
It was very silly, yes.
So silly.
And I like, so David's done the same as what Michael did earlier. He's just riding the top of the station as it rises up. So we get, it surfaces, he's like, fresh air, rips off his mask, it's glorious. Meanwhile, Tracy's still there trying to attack this shark in this little room. And everyone's like, yeah, heroic. But yeah, it's a cupboard with a window and a ladder, and that's all that's in the room. So she's managed to rip the ladder off the wall, and it's got it between herself and the shark. And the whole crew of this ship, called the Icebreaker 1, are just lined up on deck watching this building being put onto their deck, where the helicopter used to be, watching this half a shark hanging out the window.
And so casual. The guy's just like, wait, is that a shark?
The line is, I'm seeing something, and it looks like a shark. Because Tracy manages to fend it off and pushes it out the window, and it just lands on deck, and immediately just stops playing. And I'm like, great, now just drop the building on the shark. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
But they somehow very carefully put it next to the shark. And so David climbs into the window, and here's Tracy. He's like, "Oh, we made it. Everything's fine. We're all good. Everything's alive." And they leave, and then they see the shark is still there, and people get like close to the shark, and David sees that the tail is still moving. They put a blanket around Tracy, and they jump up and they're like, "No, get away from it!" So David runs up, sees one of the guys, drops a gun, the other side of the shark, does the only thing that you can do, leaps fully over the shark. He jumps the shark, grabs the gun, goes to shoot. Doesn't shoot the gun. He sees, what's that next to the shark? Is that like a fire extinguisher? Shoots the fire extinguisher, the force of which causes the shark to be blown off the side of the boat,
off the deck,
into the sea. And that's it. They sail away. Job done. The sharks are still out there. These super intelligent, super evolved greenies, still out there, gonna take over the world.
But David is very happy because he's with Tracy, and that's all that matters. And they want to end it like it's some Titanic love story where, like, Jack and Rose actually makes it. And
yeah, and then we cut to a wide shot of the ship sailing away. And with these kinds of films, I'm always amazed that the last shot isn't the ship being eaten by a megalodon. I feel like that's
Absolutely.
every one of these films should end with just whoever's alive having been killed by a big monster.